Hi everyone, I'm Clem and welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be doing my favorite tag of the year. Like, I love doing this tag every time, every year, because I love the questions, and it's the media freakout book tag. So I can't link the original video because it's not on YouTube anymore, but I'm sure you already seen this video because every booktuber does it at this time of the year every year because it's really fun. So I'm going to jump right into it. So the first question is, what is the best book you've read so far? So I can't pick just one book. I managed to pick 3 books, which is good because I could have picked so many books, but I'm just going with those 3. So the first one I'm going to mention is Dear Martin by Nick Stone. So I've read this book last month and it made me almost cry because of the story, and it's so relevant today to read this story. If you don't know what Dear Martin is you're following Justice, and Justice is a young Afro-American who lives we live surrounded by wealthy white kids, and he's having a hard time to deal with racism, and so he decides to write letters to Sir Martin Luther King. Of course, a lot of things are happening, but I'm not going to spoil you. You should definitely read it. It really is a masterpiece, as a book that everyone should read because it's really enlightening. The second book I'm going to mention is pretty different because it's Anarchy by Jenny Lee. I think it's Jenny Lee. And this is a modern retelling of the novel Anna Karenina by Tolstoy. So if you're familiar with the story of Anna Karenina, you know that you're following Anna Karenina, and the whole point of the book is Anna having to choose between a very good boyfriend and this new guy that she met, but it's like love versus passion for me. And here it's happening in New York, in the wealthiest neighborhood, like in Manhattan. They're all super wealthy. It's like drama. It's like Gossip Girl, but way better. And I loved it. And the last book I'm going to mention is also very different because it's The Guinea's Deception by Kristen White. So this is a retelling of the King Arthur and the Legend of Excalibur. In this one, you're following the main character is Guinea and not Arthur. And here Guinea is actually not Guinea because Guinea died when she was at the nunnery. And it's actually the daughter of Merlin who shapeshifted and changed into Guinevere in order to protect Arthur. From this, I was so into it, and actually the book is really good because it's talking about so many things, and I love how the author make this legend her own, and what she added was amazing. Guinevere is one of my new favorite characters. I love her. The second one is coming out this fall. I'm really waiting for it. Next is, what is the best sequel you've read so far? So I checked, and I haven't read that much sequels. Like, I've read most of a series of Unfortunate Events, so most of them are sequels, but I don't consider them as sequel because I really wanted to read the series. So I had to pick one, and I went with Heartstopper Volume 3. So yeah, Heartstopper Volume 3 by Alice Oseman. So Heartstopper, you're following Nick and Charlie, and they start as friends, but they discover that actually they are feeling for each other, and it's basically the plot of the first one. But in this one, you're following Nick and Charlie as they are going on a trip with their class in Paris, and it's basically Nick or Charlie. I always forgot their name. Wait, I'm really bad at this. Wait, this one is like newly gay, like he just come out, but not to everyone, and so throughout the book you're going to see struggle to like, he doesn't really know if he wants to come out to everyone because he's afraid of what they're going to think. It was really heartwarming and really cute, and I loved it. Next, we have a new release you haven't read yet, but you want to, and I'm going with My Calamity Jane. I've been talking about this for like the past months on my channel. It's finally here. I finally received it. It's beautiful. Unfortunately, I was supposed to read it this month, but I've been a very slow reader this month and I won't be able to read it. But if you don't know what My Calamity Jane is, it's the last book in the Lady Janie's trilogy. So you have My Lady Jane and My Plague Jane, and now you have My Calamity Jane. And the three authors are actually taking the story of Calamity Jane, but they add humor and supernatural stuff. In this one, they are adding werewolves, and I think my Calamity Jane is actually a hunter for like werewolves or something like that. I can't wait. I've been waiting for this book for like the past year. It's finally here. I'm going to read it next month because I'm really excited. Next is your most anticipated releases for the second half of the year. So I'm going with two books. The first one is the sequel to The Guinea's Deception, which is called The Camelot Betrayal. I've been waiting for this sequel since I first finished the first book. I really liked it. The ending was amazing, so I can't wait to see where the story is going to go. I have really high expectations for this sequel. It's coming out this fall and I'm waiting for it. And the second one is A Deadly Education by Novick. So Naomi Novick, I fell in love with her when I first read Uprooted here. And I wanted to read Spinning Silver that came out last year, but I still haven't bought this book yet. But this one seems amazing. First, can we talk about how gorgeous is this book? And in order to not tell you like stupid things, I'm just going to read you the synopsis on Goodreads. I it myself in my computer. So, learning has never been this deadly. A Deadly Education is set at Schoolomans, a school for the magical gifted where failure means certain death, for real. Until one girl, Elle, begins to unlock its many secrets. There are no teachers, no holidays and no friendships, save strategic ones. Survival is more important than any letter grade, for the school won't allow its students to live until they graduate or die. The rules are deceptively simple. Don't walk the halls alone, and beware of the monster who lurk everywhere. Elle is uniquely prepared for the school's danger. She may be without allies, but she possesses a dark power strong enough to level mountains and wipe out millions. It would be easy enough for Elle to defeat the monster that prowl the school. The problem, a powerful dark magic might also kill all the other students. It sounds amazing. Like, I love books set in high school or like schools because it gives like, I don't know, a certain mood and atmosphere to the book. I love it. This is coming out, I think, in September. Yeah, on the 29th of September. I'm going to pre-order it because I want it. It's beautiful and it sounds amazing. Next, what is your biggest disappointment so far? And actually, you know what? I'm really sad to mention this book, because the book is The Kingdom of Back by Mary Lou. It is my biggest disappointment this year so far, but I think in my life so far. Like, it's a bit exaggerating, but really, I was really disappointed because Mary Lou is one of my favorite authors. I loved all her novels, but this one just wasn't it. I think I ended up giving it 2.5 stars on Goodreads for my favorite author. Like, I don't know what happened. If you want to really know how it went with this book and what are my thoughts, I'm going to link my May wrap-up here, so you will have more like my all thoughts on this book. But basically, in this book you're following the life of Nano, and she's the sister of Mozart, but she knows that she will never be like remembered in history, so she makes a pact with a princeling from the Kingdom of Back, which is a fantastic world, and they're going to help each other. Like, he wants Nano to help him have his throne back, and in exchange he will help her be remembered in history. That's the synopsis, like that's the plot, and after it was bad. Now we're going to talk about happier stuff, because I'm going to talk about my biggest surprise so far, and it's the Quill Prince by Olly Black. And I'm going to link my vlog here, my reading vlog for the Quill Prince, because I did one. I really thought I was going to hate it and that it was going to be similar to A Court of Thorns and Roses trilogy by Sarah J. Maas. But actually, I loved it. I'm so in love with this book and with those characters. I bought the second one and the last one, and I'm going to read them this summer because I really want to read it. It was really a huge surprise and a good surprise because I loved it. Next we have who is your favorite new author. It can either be a new author like you just started writing or new to you. And I'm going with Nick Stone. So she's the woman who wrote Dear Martin, but she also wrote Jackpot, and she's going to wrote Dear Justice, which is a sequel to Dear Martin. I only read one book by her, but Dear Martin was so beautiful, so powerful, and also so well written that I fell in love with her. And I think she's courageous, and I don't know, the way she's saying stuff, it's so good to finally see the stuff on papers, like on paper and in books for YA. I loved it. I love her. I hope I'm going to love other books, but I'm sure I will. Next is who is your newest fictional crush? I don't think I have any fictional crush because it's been a while since I had a crush on a character, really like a long time. But maybe if I had to pick, I would maybe pick Carden from the Quill Prince, because it could be the sort of characters I would have fallen in love with when I was younger. Or I could go with Alien, which is the prince from To Kill a Kingdom by Alexandra Christo, because he's a pirate prince and I loved him. It was really a good character, really interesting, so maybe I could have a crush on him. Now we have who is your newest favorite character, and I'm going with two. The first one is Jude from The Quill Prince, because for me she's super badass. I thought she was going to be a whining little girl oh boo-hoo, I was sent to fairies, my life is awful, just like the one in A Court of Mist and Furies, or this trilogy. But actually she's super badass. She doesn't like to be a fairy, and she's fighting her way to be accepted and to be respected, and I loved that. She's super badass, she knows what she wants, and she's going to fight for it. And the other one is actually Anna Kay from Anna Kay, the retelling of Anna Karenina, because I really liked the character and the point of view in the story, and I loved seeing her thinking about what she was going to do and how she loved the two boys at the same time. But yeah, I loved seeing a stream of thoughts. It was really interesting. Next is pick a book that made you cry. So I'm going with Clap When You Land by Elizabeth Acevedo. So this is our newest novel, and in this one you're following two sisters, sorry, sir is in French, two sisters. One is called Camino and she lives in Dominican Republic, and the other one is called, I don't know how to say it, Yahaira, and she lives in New York City. But the thing is that they don't know they're sisters, but they're going to find out because one day their father died, and so they're going to find out that actually their father had a double life and that they are sisters. I haven't actually cried, but I was on the verge of crying so many times while reading this book, because it's about family and it's about trusting someone you love, but actually realizing that he's not who you thought he was, but at the same time he's dead, and finding new family members, and I don't know, just familial love is so interesting, and I loved it. The relationship between the two sisters was really well done. Once again, Elizabeth Acevedo outdone herself, because this book was beautiful. Then we have a book that made you happy, and I'm just going to go very quickly on this one because I already mentioned it twice, because I'm going to pick Anna Kay by Jenny Lee. I was really happy while reading this book because, as I told you, I felt like I was reading gossip, and it was so much drama. I loved it. I was so into it. I loved every minute of it. Now pick the most beautiful book you bought or received so far this year. And I've watched my books and I have beautiful books, but not that beautiful. So if I had to pick one, I'm going to pick either The Kingdom of Bad, because it's a bad book, but at least It's beautiful because if you look at the cover, I love it. Like, you have a tree, and the tree is from actually the Kingdom of Bag, and you have so many little symbols that actually have a connection with the story, and I loved it because you have notes, like you have the 2 moons. So I really love this one, and also I love the fact that there's nothing like on the back, like just 4 sentences, and you're like, oh, I'm so into it, but actually it's bad. And another one I really loved is the Guinea's Deception, just because it's blue and yellow and actually gold, and I just love the color scheme, and I don't know, it's like, it's so typical of fantasy book and medieval fantasy, but I just love it. I'm in love with this book. And last but not least, what books do you have to read before the end of the year? So many, because like at the beginning of the year, I made a list of 10 books I had to read this year. And well, I've only read one, and it was The Quill Prince. So I'm just going to pick that list and tell you what books I have to read. So, here are the books I have to read. So I have to read Caraval by Stephanie Gabler, A Prisoner of Night in Fog, Leah on the Offbeat, Landline by Rainbow Rowell, Heartless by Marissa Meyer, Mosquitoland, The Game of Love and Death, Glitter, and The Song of Achilles by Madeline Miller. So these are actually, you see, 10 books I really have to read. I've just read The Quill Prince. Well, it's not going well. I really hope, and I'm going to force myself to read them, because some of them have been here since 2015. So yeah, you could tell me, like, if you haven't read them, like, you're never going to read them, you should like put them away. But I want to, okay? I really want to read them. So I'm going to force myself and try to read those 10 books before the end of 2020. So yeah, guys, that's it for today. I hope you liked it. I'm not going to mention or tag anyone, because I'm sure a lot of people have planned to do it, but if you want to do it, then you could do it, like I tag you. Also, don't forget to like this video and also to subscribe to my channel. I also want to thank you all for like 300 subscribers. I'm really happy. I never thought I would reach that, but like, I'm really happy. There's a giveaway on my Twitter, and I think it's stops tomorrow. So if you want to participate, I'm going to be offering 15 euros of book depository. So if you want to participate, I'm going to link it down below. If I can, I'm going to try. And anyway, I will see you next time. Bye, guys.